Bill and Dave are on the lam, not a scam. Grab your cam, could be in a traffic jam or maybe in Siam. Bill and Dave are hiding out, what's their route? Won't give out, searching Brussels for a sprout. They rarely mill a boat. Bill and Dave are on the lam, on a tram in Rotterdam. Don't you forward them your spam, they're clearly on the lam.
Yay! Oh, yay! It's on the lamb.
It's on the lamb.
It's on the lamb.
Bill, how are you?
I'm fine, Dave.
I mean, I know last week we were just at Chapin's, but it seems like I haven't seen you in a while.
Actually, it's going to be 5 weeks since we've been at Chapin's.
No, not to the listeners.
Oh, yeah.
Oh yeah?
Because there have already been still 4 more of episodes that have to air after the Chapin's one.
Oh, okay.
So we're time traveling, Dave.
Time traveling.
That's what.
Well, speaking of time traveling, it's been about 2 months. I can't believe we haven't talked about this, but it's been 2 months since the Oscars aired.
Yeah,
Did you watch them?
The very end. The very end. I think I put on Facebook, Marge and I are going to celebrate the Oscars by playing a round of Yahtzee, eating some gelato, and watching The Amazing Race.
That sounds like the perfect way to celebrate the Oscars.
Yeah, for years and years, I would make myself watch them just because I like movies and I like to stay up on who won things. And then a year or two ago, I missed the beginning of it, and I kind of, we've got a kind of TV with a DVR that you can back up, and so I kind of skipped through it, and and this year, Marge and I did I ever say this on the podcast, or was it before the podcast?
What?
About, we celebrated the Oscars by playing a round of Yahtzee, eating some gelato, and watching The Amazing Race.
No, I think what I remember you saying on this podcast, that you celebrated the Oscars by playing a round of Yahtzee, eating some gelato, and watching The Amazing Race.
Oh, okay, that was it.
Maybe that's
yeah.
what I was thinking of.
Well, that's what went down. And then we were kind of puttering around, getting ready to, go to bed, and I said to Marge, I think I'll watch the end of the Oscars. So I saw who won, best actor or actress.
Have you seen any of the movies?
Some, yeah. I saw Lincoln. I saw Life of Pi. And, we saw The Hobbit. I don't even know if The Hobbit won in its category or not. I don't think it was nominated for too many.
So you saw The End, which was Best Picture?
Best Picture, yes.
And what won?
The Argo, which is about...
Oh, really? I remember reading some of the reviews where it was a little difficult to follow, and...
I don't know a thing about it. I know this is Ben Affleck's big comeback movie. He was one of the producers of it. And it's a political thing about Iran, Iraq, Middle East. Something happened.
Speaking of not knowing a thing about it.
Yeah, boy, I don't.
And current movies and things like that. The past month, I've been so busy with recording and, the lifestyle change.
Yeah.
And I am so out of touch with all of, the current top musics and movies. Mm-hmm. And I am really enjoying that. I really am. It's like I listen to the radio, or if I happen to be in a room with a television and they're talking about, some paparazzi thing, I have no idea what they're talking about.
That's nice.
And I think it's wonderful.
Well, there's a freedom there. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. I get all my news anyway. I think I'm a little less disconnected than you are, but I still don't seek out the news at all. I accidentally read stuff on the internet, like if I go to the Yahoo site, they always have headlines on it, and I go, bombing, this happened, East Coast getting hit with a blizzard, a hurricane, or a meteor's about to hit the earth, things like that. I learned from Yahoo or people commenting on Facebook, boy, sure I'm glad that meteor didn't hit us, things like that. And other than that, I just steer clear of the news. And
Speaking of that, I saw a few of those posts. Sure glad that meteor didn't hit us. And I thought, that's not funny. What are they talking about? And I just kept going. I didn't know that it was an actual...
It was an actual meteor, yes.
Potential event.
Yeah, it almost hit Russia as well. Well, it actually did hit Russia. Not in a populated area, but like 100 people were injured by broken glass and stuff. Yeah. Wow. It was a serious thing. But if you can look at pictures of the thing, and it's amazing. It's like something out of a science fiction movie.
Oh, I should look at that.
You would be interested in
I
that.
like that kind of science
Sure,
fiction.
very
Especially
exciting.
like 1950 science fiction. Cold War, Russia, sci-fi, I love it.
Yep. Well, the interesting thing was they knew that this one asteroid was going to pass very close to the Earth. What they didn't know is it had a little buddy that came even closer. It's like, here comes the asteroid, guys. Russia.
Wait for me.
Yeah, I know. I'm going to burn up in the atmosphere. Doo-dah. And if the actual asteroid had hit us, that would have done some serious damage. It may have affected the atmosphere. And I don't know. I think they just kind of thought, well, it's going to be a near miss. I was secretly hoping it would get caught by the Earth's gravitational pull and become a second moon. Wouldn't that be fun?
Oh, yes.
Then we'd have to go up there.
Yeah.
Go up to the asteroid and have a name. I guess it did have a name. I don't know. U-1230 or something.
I don't like the way they're naming storms now. Listening to the radio the other day, they said Norris is on. I'm like, what? Just tell me snow. I don't need to know Norris or.
Yeah, it used to just be the hurricanes were the only thing that got names in the weather, and now it's like tropical storm. So it's like no, it's a storm.
I like time travel. I'm trying to. I'm reminded 2 months ago what I was doing at Oscar night because Wendy and I were joking about it. We're actually driving to Chicago.
2 years ago.
No, 2 months ago.
2 months ago.
2 months ago.
Oh, 2 months ago yes.
Oscar night.
I'm having a hard time nailing myself down as to where we are, Dave.
Right, that's okay. But Wendy and I were driving to Chicago, and one of the ongoing jokes was, "Oh, it's Oscar night. That's why this traffic is heavy here or light there." And
driving in for the Oscars.
But we recorded. It was night 2 of a group from Poland.
Right, Shofar,
and they were devastatingly good.
Wow.
It was Mikołaj Traska, who I may be distantly related to. His wife's last name is Zukowski.
Oh, I think you have told me that before.
But they did.
This is a jazz group.
The jazz group was consisted of Mikołaj on reeds, Moshe on drums, and Raphael on guitar. And they did traditional Jewish themes interspersed with improv. And the first night, as Wendy said, she said that was so moving I wanted to dance. And I also overheard a woman telling them that was so beautiful I cried 3 times. I mean, it was really, really something.
Wow.
So hopefully something will come out on CD of the recordings. Is that all I wanted to say about that?
I don't know.
I don't know either.
It'll a little light will come on in your head, maybe.
Okay.
Maybe after you have a bite of breakfast. Hey, speaking of which,
breakfast, since we've been doing so much time traveling, why don't we get to today in the present moment?
Okay, today in the present moment, here we are, and you mentioned this breakfast confection known as a vegan.
Vegetarian,
not vegan.
It, yeah.
Okay, vegetarian breakfast pizza.
Yes.
Offered by
a gas station.
A gas station. That's good eating.
Well, since the listeners may as well know the undisclosed location, we are in the kitchenette of the one-room studio complex.
Ah, yes. So
what we'll do, as long as you mention that, maybe I should order said pizza now.
You can actually order this from a gas station.
It's a gas station, yes.
And they take orders over the phone.
Sure.
What a miraculous age we live in.
So you go ahead and take over in the podcast.
Well, I will, but as soon as you start the ordering, I think the listener should listen to the order.
Maybe I'll step away from the microphone a little bit.
Oh, okay.
Just,
We can
just
pull,
so when it starts
pull one of those.
And as soon as I start talking, you're going to have to carry the show, Bill.
Oh. All right. That's what you say.
2 ringy dingies. Three ringy dingies.
I've noticed that more and more places are ordering special things like breakfast burritos, breakfast bagels, things that you can get non-traditional breakfast items on what would normally be like a lunch type of or dinner type of serving, like a pizza. And now there's breakfast pizzas, and you've never had this, have you?
No.
Oh, and now
I'd like to order.
Daver is now
breakfast pizza.
ordering the breakfast pizza.
Yeah, can I get a large in case get the vegetarian?
And we're going to do, I hear tell that we're going to have some homebrewed coffee again. A few episodes ago, you may remember.
Yeah, that's the one, yeah.
Daver made some of that, and boy, it was good. Organic beans, yum-o. So,
I'll just pick it up a little bit.
Yeah.
Oh. Okay.
Just talking about we're picking it up in a little bit.
Bye-bye.
Okay. And I think Daver's coming back to the phone, to the podcast
I'm
now.
coming back. Yeah, they said about 20 minutes. So
20 minutes, okay.
It's not going to be. But I've ordered their regular pizzas before, and they're never 20 minutes. So we can probably leave in about 5. Matter of fact, we can leave shortly after. I'm brewing some. As long is this going to be like the capsules episode?
Oh, yeah.
I'm going to brew some organic Myers French roast coffee, and I see the water's about to boil. And not French roast, and it's also going to be in a French press.
Oh, it's very French.
So excuse me, listeners, while I grind the beans.
Oh, yes, and speaking of French, let's have a little moment to remember Sebastian Cabot, who played the role of Mr. French.
Mr. French.
On Family Matters, an old sitcom.
Mr. French? Okay, here we go. Ready?
Yeah,
grind the beans. Whoa!
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 Get your thumb out of there, Dave.
Ow!
That's gotta hurt. We're just kidding. Or are we? You never know with us.
Now I will pour the water.
All right, this is getting very, very French indeed.
Oh,
this is
it's getting French because I'm pouring water.
Well,
that is the sound of the. I think the microphones are probably picking it up. Slowly pour the boiling water into the carafe with the freshly ground beans.
The French press, and the French press is going to have a field day with this.
We have to break
the French paparazzi.
Wouldn't it be great if Google Translate actually had an audio
program
that would do the translate?
It would be awesome.
What Wendy and I watch every year around Valentine's Day is the BBC production of Year in Provence.
Oh.
Written by Peter Mayle.
Yeah.
You ever seen it?
No.
It's wonderful.
Is that with Diane Lane?
No. It's all British.
Oh, okay. Then
I don't know. I don't know if there was an American version, but
No, I'm thinking of something else.
The British version is just wonderful. It was filmed, I believe, in the 80s, but it takes its time. It's a 6-hour miniseries.
Oh, just kind of the story unfolds.
Right, about how they both retire from England and they decide to move to France, and then just what ensues. It's almost like a podcast. And it's hysterical. It's
a printed podcast, otherwise known as a book.
Yes, it was based,
a nonfiction book.
Based on a book. Right?
Yeah,
but this is the. One of the neat things that they did in this production is, I don't want to say you feel exactly like you've done that and you've moved to this country where you don't know the language. Which the husband Peter Mayle doesn't really know the language. But what they did in this thing is the French people speak French, and there are no subtitles.
Oh,
so
it's like you're